Oh, hello there, beautiful people. Welcome back to a fabulous couple of hours. This is going to be here on Crafters TV. We are, of course, going to be taking you on a journey that is our craft on. It's going to be absolutely awesome. I know there was one the other day. It's not too late if you want to join us. The whole premise of this show is that I'm not certainly going to do it. Do you know what? I'm not going to tell you what the premise of the show is. Do you know why? Because we've got a fabulous teacher joining us for the next couple of hours. Craig is here with me in the studio. Craig, I know you did one of these the other day. It was so spectacularly successful, wasn't it? And we've got a really awesome collection to go at today.
Absolutely, Joe. You know, to say that it was successful is just an understatement. You know, Facebook and Instagram, the whole of social media went crazy. You loved the idea, you loved the flow, you loved the step-by-step that you could follow on. You could then follow exactly as I was doing. Some of you changed it slightly. Some of you didn't even have the product, but you were just crafting along with us, which was just incredible. And it was so good to see. And I know Joe will go over just shortly about, because we want to see your pictures at the end of it. But yeah, so this time it's all about our Sara Signature collection. This is Caring Thoughts. So the idea is, over the last couple of days, what we've done is we've given you the shopping list on social media as to what you will need to create this gift box. Now, this gift box being here is 5x7. So you can then, the idea that I made this is so that you can pop your dimensional 5x7 cards inside.
Gorgeous idea.
However, you can put little gifts in if you want to as well. So what we've done is we're going to show you just on the screen just in a moment or two as to what you will need to create that box if you want to create it exactly like I am doing in a moment or two. So to create your box, you're going to need this. So you're going to need your 12x12, your mixed cardstock pad, pattern paper pad, and your vellum pad. Then you're going to need, with a Grateful Heart sentiment stamp set, you're going to need your filigree border cut and emboss folder, your Floral Decoupage set 2, decoupage topper pad. Joe will go over something about that just shortly in a moment. Butterfly, or your layered butterfly, and also your coloured brads. So that's what you're going to need from your Caring Thoughts collection. But then, to make your project, you're also going to need a few additional items as well. These are core items that most of you will probably have anyway. So your large guillotine, either your Gemini Midi or your Junior, or of course your large Gemini, your Score Master or your Ultimate Pro, as long as it can make a box, a craft knife, craft ruler, a tape runner, your 3D foam pads, or you can of course use your glue gel, your anthracite quick dry ink pad, or if you don't have that, a grey ink pad, anthracite Centura Pearl. You just need one sheet of that. If you don't have anthracite, a dark grey or even a black, and then of course a white smooth stamping card as well. So that's going to be your key elements to actually create the 5x7 box when it comes to the craft along.
And that's absolutely fantastic. And you've still got about maybe 10 minutes, Craig, to gather all that together before we get started, which is awesome. Now, one of the awesome things about Crafters TV and about our craft along is that we get to welcome two very special crafty guests via the medium of video link up. So we've got Kelly in Boston with us and Nikki in Ontario as well. As hello, ladies. It's such a pleasure to have you on the show. Are you all ready, set to craft along with us this afternoon?
Yes, we are. Hi, Joe.
Awesome.
Yes,
right.
guys.
Well, we're going to be dropping in on you as we go through, seeing how you're getting on as we go through the show. So, ready, set, craft, ladies. That's what we'll be doing in just a moment. Now, craft along then as a concept is the idea that we're going to bring you a collection that we've launched. Roughly around 4 weeks later, we'll do a craft along on it. So you know that we can all get together as a big Crafters TV family, sit down and create a project step by step as you go through. So if you're a beginner, you're going to absolutely love this. If you're a more advanced crafter, you are 100% going to pick up more tips and techniques as we go through. If you want to just watch and you don't want to craft along, absolutely, you're more than welcome to do that. But we will take our time. It will be a much slower pace than normal, and it will mean that you've got the ability to keep up with us. If at any point you miss anything, there's a bit that you don't understand or any of those different things, you can get in touch with us in all the usual ways. So, Crafters TV across on Facebook. Please make sure you're commenting on the Crafters TV page. Make sure you've liked that and you're commenting there. If you comment on Craig's page or my page or the Crafters Companion UK page, we won't be able to see those comments. You must make sure it's on the Crafters TV page. If you're across on YouTube, then it's Crafters Companion on YouTube. Comment there. One of our social media superstars will whiz it over to us, which is absolutely awesome. Loads of you are already saying hello as well, which is fantastic. I can see Deborah saying hello, J'Souza's here, Lynn saying hi, Diana in Indiana, Suzette's here, Susan, Sally in Braunton, George, Director George and Sally know each other. Apparently everyone knows everyone in Broughton. Sally, George says hi. Kristen's watching as I can see. Liz is in, Jeffrey is in New Hampshire. Lynn's in Spain. Lynn, where in Spain are you? Hola. Christine is super excited, as is Brigitte in the Netherlands. Cheryl in Niagara Falls. Hi, Cheryl, our resident delivery driver. Mary is in Ireland as well. Hi, Mary. Christina says, watch the first craft along and ended up buying the set later on, but today I am prepared. Absolutely. Now, what I would love you to do is already, before we start the craft along, I know that a lot of you have been making loads and loads of projects with this collection. You can email me in your pictures. I would love to be able to share your creativity with the rest of the Crafters TV family. And you can email me, studio@crafterscompanion.co.uk is how you email those pictures into me. Now, if you're out there and you're thinking to yourself, oh no, I missed this collection when it launched, so I'm not ready, I can't take part. You can. Because what you're able to do, don't forget, is come back and watch this show back at any point on our website. So if you go over to our website, crafterscompanion.co.uk.com.au, you'll be able to watch it back at any time. That's also where you can watch and shop at the same time. Just click the Shop the Show button on the homepage. Now, we have got the whole collection for you, most of the collection available on the show today. So I'm going to run you through what you're getting. Details are here on your screen, as you can see. Now, you've got interchangeable dies in here, which is awesome. So you've got this lovely big creator card die, but you've got 3 different sentiments in there as well, which is fantastic. So you've got Just Because, Thinking of You, and With Love and Friendship, which is awesome. You have got the most amazing 3D cut and emboss folder, or cut and emboss folder, I should say, with these gorgeous little butterflies on here. Now, with the 3D decoupage, we don't have the decoupage pad in stock, but if you go to the website and click on this product, click on this collection, you will see in the description the download for you to download this artwork. You can actually do that right now and save it to your computer, ready for when this comes to you. So you're still getting the dies in there, which is awesome. I would imagine we will be restocking on the decoupage pad, so you'll be able to come back and get that, I would hope, at a later date. You've then got some sentiments in here as well. So you've got Just to Say, and also You're In My Thoughts, which I think is such an apt sentiment at the moment. We've then got more cut and emboss in here as well. With this one just here. I'm just going to check that is in here. It's in this collection, isn't it?
It is.
Oh, I can't believe you get 2 cut and emboss folders.
Yeah. And this is the one that's going to be featured in the craft along.
Oh, you're going to make sure you want to got that one to hand. We've also got some stamps as well in here, and I think these are great. It's Always In My Thoughts, with Caring Thoughts. You've got Made Good Cheer and Comfort. There's loads in there. And then also you've got With a Grateful Heart. I just think such a lovely collection, because it's gratitude, but it's kind of slightly inspirational and uplifting. I think it's a really, really lovely collection for the current times. You've then got the layered butterflies. These are beautiful. We're going to be using these as well today in the craft along. My favourite element of the collection is this, these gorgeous layered roses. If you own the rose gold collection, these play beautifully with the rose gold ones that you've got in there. Then what we've got already is we've also got some organza ribbons in here, again colour coded, colour matched beautifully with the collection. Then you've got the brads in here as well, which is brilliant. That's all your hardware, as I like to call it, but for me it's not the most exciting bit, because the most exciting bit, oh yeah, you guessed it, it's the pads. I love them. Honestly, I love them. I really do. I think we do paper pads so well here at Crafters TV. So what we're going to give you in this collection is you're going to get the 12 by 12 printed papers. So this one here has got 70 die cut elements in the back of here, which is fantastic. And then you've got 36 sheets of your papers as well. So you've really got yourself covered there. If you want to just do a quick pick and stick card, you can do that using this pad, but you've got all of this artwork in here that ties all the way through. Now, we've then got in here 36 sheets of the most beautiful vellums. This is the first pad that we've done plain vellums in, as well as patterned vellum. So it's kind of, you can mat and layer, and you can double layer the vellums up. We're going to be using vellums in the craft along today as well. So you've got that one in there, which is fantastic. And for the first time ever, your luxury cardstock is now in a 12 by 12 pad. And the great thing about it is it's 250 GSM, so it is literally the perfect weight. And what you get is in each colour, you get the mirror, you get the matte mirror, and then you get the pearlescent as well, which is gorgeous. It really is beautiful. I think you're going to need an extra one of these because you're going to need one to stroke and one to craft with, is what I would say. £134 or $182. You're absolutely more than welcome to use your Club Inspired discount. Each and every one of you also is going to get free postage and packaging and free shipping and handling as well. Lots of you letting me know that you are raring to go. I'm really, really excited. Now, before we kick things off, Craig, I know that you've got some of the other finished projects that you can complete with this collection. The design team have really outdone themselves for this one, haven't they?
They really, really have, Joe, and obviously following along the theme of the collection, the design team have done incredible cards. However, what you can then do, of course, is you can then, of course, make birthday cards, make anniversary cards, celebration cards like that, because the colour tones throughout are so pastel and so springtime as well. But here's a relatively simple, straightforward card, but look how lovely that is, using the layered roses that you can see there. And then on this one, this is using the filigree border. And then this topper one, where my finger is up at the top there, that's actually a die-cut topper that comes in the 12 by 12
gorgeous,
paper
isn't it?
pad. So all comes together as well. Another one just using the floral decoupage. So even a bit of that green on that backdrop, it really enhances the image. And then going into, even if you just want to chop things down, Joe, make your own little strips that you can see there, and that could become the backdrop as well as the foreground as well with your decoupage. Then maybe you want to use one of the interchangeable sentiments. We showed these ones on Wake Up Call this morning. So although this won't be used on the craft along, if you want any other ideas, then you can always go back and check that one out. And then you can see if we've then got another one here. So in bringing in other collections that you've got at home, die sets that you want to use at home, you can absolutely do that. And then one last one, look at the difference by doing black card and your gold gilding waxes. How elegant does that look? But what we'll do, I tell you what, will I give you another look, Joe, at what we're going to be creating
it is
today?
a gorgeous box, Craig. It really, really is.
This is exactly what we're going to be making. And as I said right at the start, maybe you're just joining in now. So the idea was sometimes some people, they have a bit of difficulty making 5 by 7 boxes. So then therefore we're going to be making this one. So then what we're going to do is making it so that it is 1 inch in depth. So it could be your little gift boxes, or of course it could be, the idea that I made this was so that we can put in your dimensional 5 by 7 cards. So you've got that option there. I'm going to cover a few layers when it comes to creating this box, and by the end of it you will have either exactly what I've done or a variation. You might change it slightly, it's entirely up to yourself.
Absolutely, really excited to get started. I can see that so many of you are really excited to get going as well. Anne-Marie says, good afternoon from Snowy Nottingham. Just finished a card literally 5 minutes before the show started. Sent it into the studio. Thank you for that. Pamela says she just got back from a freezing walk. Nicely warm now, watching craft along with a nice warm drink. Now just gathering my crafting goodies ready to go. Janice is excited. Mariah loving this collection as well. Mary Pat's excited to also see that the download is now included as well. Right, well, without further ado, I think we are just about all set. Everyone's letting me know they've got their crafting goodies together, Craig, in the comments. So now, I guess it's time that we take it away, Craig.
Let's take it away. Let's go for it. Let's do that. And then let's start right at the beginning. And I've got my cardstock ready to make the box, but what we've gone, it's not been cut to put to size. We've got the 12 by 12, so this is kind of like that gorgeous peach tone from the cardstock, and then a piece of our white smooth stamping card. Let's bring in our guillotine. This is going to be a box for 5 by 7. So I'm going to explain to you the measurements that I like to go by when it makes boxes. I like to make most of my boxes with 1 inch in depth. So what we need to do with that one is your card, which is going to be 5 by 7 to go inside. What we need is we need to have an extra inch on the left and the right hand side, as well as the top and the bottom. So therefore, what we're going to do is we're going to do 7 1/4 inches. So I'm going right up to the 7 1/4 here. So we've got the 7 inch mark, and what we're going to do is we're going to go right up to the quarter, and then what we're going to do is we're going to cut. Then what we're going to do is we're going to turn it around and we're going to go right up to the 9 1/4. So we're bringing this all the way down and I'm going right up to the 9 inch and we're going to 9 1/4. The reason I'm adding an extra quarter in is just so that your 5x7 card will fit in just nicely. If you cut it to the exact size, it'll just be a little bit too snug. So what I'm going to do is let's bring this one in. We're going to do the same with our base in a minute, but what I want to do is I want to explain to you again why we have chosen that size measurement-wise. In this box, I've got 5x7 card, which is actually one of the card blanks that you're able to get on the show as well. So can you see 5x7? So what I've needed to do is I've needed to make sure that my cardstock is an extra inch at the left and the extra inch at the right, and then exactly the same at the top. This is going to give me my inch depth all the way around, and keeping in mind, this is why I like to use 1 inch depths when it comes to my boxes. So that's how I go for that measurement for a box. So let's bring this back in again. Now on our white smooth stamping card, we're going to do exactly the same. So we're going to go to 9 1/4, all the way up to the 9 1/4 mark here. And we're going to cut, and then we're going to turn that one around and go right up to 7 1/4, which is here. This is now what's going to be the base of my card. And the reason that we use the large guillotine is so that we can go up to those big measurements. Then what I can do is I can bring in my Scoremaster. It could be your scoreboard or your Ultimate Pro, anything that enables you to make a box. So what I can do is if I bring in my scoring tool, if you've got the Scoremaster, it's going to come with it. So this is where we're going to go on the box side. So I'm going to take my lovely peach pearlescent card, because this is going to be the lid. So what I'm going to do is, with the box, we always know that it says at the bottom to this left-hand side, it's the box lid. So we're going to score the lid to the left-hand side, right up against the edge, and we're going to score at the 1 inch mark. So we've got the 1 inch mark here, so we're going to score all the way down, and then what we're going to do is we're going to follow that all the way around as well, working all the way around till we have got all 4 marks for our box lid that you can see up above there. We've got our score marks. So we need to do exactly the same now, but what we need to do is we need to come over to the right hand side where it's for the box base, and we've got the inch measurements all the way along the bottom. So what I need to do is I need to score at this 1 inch mark here and go all the way up. Now I find it difficult scoring up, so what I like to do is I like to turn it around, and then that way I'm scoring towards the left-hand side. So it's easier for me to do it that way. And then we're going to work our way around all the way. So always have a look, see what you find comfortable. So if, like me, you don't find it overly comfortable to score a base, the position that it should be at, just turn your scoreboard around. And now this is going to give me, I know with white cardstock it's harder to see, this is now going to give me my score lines when it comes to the box base.
So just to clarify, Christine Mahoney is asking, so it's the same size, top and bottom?
Exactly.
But,
yeah.
But the way that the Scoremaster works, it means that it's fractionally, does it mean it's fractionally different size-wise, Craig?
It is. So if I bring this back in again briefly, so we've got our scoreboard here. So starting from this left-hand side, you've got 1 inch, 2 inch, 3 inch, 4 inch, all the way up to 8 inches. That is exactly an inch. These are all exactly 1/4 of an 8 increments.
Right.
If we go down here, you also see 1 inch, 2 inch, 3 inch, 4 inch. This isn't exact because you've got an extra couple of millimeters just at the side there. That's going to take into account the depth for your box. So if you were to use this as a measuring element, go by the top, not the bottom.
If you were doing it then on a regular scoreboard, Craig, would you just make one of them 1/4 of an inch smaller? Would that be a way to get around it if you didn't have that exact scoreboard?
Yeah, if you don't have a scoreboard that enables you to do your boxes, what you would do is you would take your 2 bits of cardstock. What I would do is cut them to the exact same size. Then on the base box, what I would do is just trim off a couple of millimeters.
Just take
all
a
the way
fly's
around.
eyelash off.
That's it, just a fly eyelash, just to make it that bit smaller. But if you are using our scoreboard or our Ultimate Pro, anything that's a box maker, your cardstock is exactly the same and it enables you to get the boxes perfectly.
Fantastic. Any more questions, keep getting them into me. Crafts TV on Facebook, Crafts Companion Course on YouTube as well. Anything that you're not quite catching, don't worry, that's exactly what we're here for, to support you all the way through. So do let me know if there's anything you need clarifying.
Absolutely, and I think this is the great thing with the craft along as well, isn't it? Nice slow speed, any questions, anything you need help with, we are there. So what we can do to start with is let's make our box base. What we're going to do is we'll do the box lid just shortly once we have started to create and assemble the lid. So what I am doing here is we've got our crossover point when it comes to our base. So if I tip it that way, can you see where we've got that crossover point with the lines? So what I'm going to do is on that score line, I'm going to snip up and then I'm going to cut just a little triangle out. So we've got a little tab here and we're going to do that on all 4 corners. So we're going to cut down and then a little triangle. So we're cutting down into that score line. In other words, Joe, what we're doing is we're cutting down 1 inch because that is 1 inch when it comes to the depth. If you're using our large scissors, we've got that 1 inch gauge there to follow. But cutting a little slither out. So we're working our way in and cutting a little slither out here.
Does it matter, Craig, on what side of the corner that the sliver is?
No,
So it could have gone on the other right angle equally and would have worked fine.
As long as you'll be able to see from up above. So what it does is it creates that tab. It creates that tab, so it enables you to then fold those edges in. So we get a nice, perfect angle.
Awesome.
So what I'm going to do is just for the base anyway, just now I'm going to use our tape runner and we're going to work our way around and we're just going to pop that onto all 4 corners. Take in another tape runner, that one's run out, and then we can work our way in. Pop them to the side, and then we can get on to even more fun parts, and that's doing the decorating of the box.
That's fantastic. Teresa says, the Scoremaster was the first time it didn't even leave me in tears making a box. That's good to know. And Michelle Joyce had lots of fun making boxes for 5x7 cards all weekend. Please send us in those pictures, Michelle. We'd love to show them with everyone else a little bit later in the show.
Be great just to see what everyone comes up with. Really nice. Now there we go. So we've got our box base. So what I can do is we won't need that till pretty much the end, so let's pop that to the side. We're going to bring in our lid. Now we don't necessarily have to decorate that just now or assemble it even. What we are going to do is we're going to bring in our embossing folder. So this is the one where we're going to use the filigree border. If you have the products at home, it's at this point you may want to change the folder. You might want to use the other one. It's entirely up to yourself. That's the great thing with the craft along is you can maybe change bits and pieces if you want. What I'm going to do is to cut it to the size that I need it. I'm going to take my white smooth stamping card again. I like to use stamping card a lot when it comes to cut and emboss. And we're going to cut that to 4 3/4. So we're going to go right up to the 4 3/4 mark where my finger is. And we're going to cut. And then we're going to go to 6 3/4. So up to the 6 inch mark and then right up to the 6 3/4. And then we're going to cut this one as well. This is going to cut it to the size that you want it. So you're not going to have to do any trimming whatsoever. Bringing in our folder here. These have got little bits of foam on them, Joe. Really light foam, so don't pick them out. They're there to protect your folder. So if you are new to our cut and emboss folders, that's what they're for. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in my cardstock here, and then I like to just flip it over, and then what I do is I use the design on the front here as a guide. So I'm just popping that one into the middle, and then when I can see I've got a nice perfect outline of my cardstock, I'm going to close that. Then we're going to bring in our Gemini Junior plates, or if you're using the MIDI, you could be using the MIDI. Going to use our 2 cutting plates here, Joe. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to add in my metal shim. That just gives the embossed detail that little bit extra oomph, and it just makes it stand out that little bit more. Popping that one in, running that through, and then the configuration of the plates, as well as the pressure of the Gemini, not only does it cut out that center part, what it does is it embosses all of that detail when it comes to the cut and emboss folder.
Teresa is saying, great idea, that if you struggle with your eyesight like she does, she went over with a silver marker and wrote over the numbers on her score master, so now they're a bit easier to see. That's top tip, that, Teresa. Thanks for that.
Really good idea, isn't
Lots
it?
of love for the pace of this show already, Craig, as well. Jeffrey says, ideal pace, Craig, thank you so much. Fred saying as well, Craig, your directions are great, simple and concise. That's what this show is all about, isn't it, Craig?
It is. That's exactly what it's all about. And on Friday with the first one, you know, it was the first one. We didn't know if the pace was too fast for you still, too slow for you. I think by your comments on Friday and over the weekend, we've got it spot on, and glad that you're enjoying it as much as we are as well. I know Ben did, and I'm pretty sure you will as well by the end of it.
Absolutely love it. I love seeing something come together from, you know, very start to very end. I know a lot of the time we speed demonstrations up, obviously, to get more in, but it's lovely that we can really break it down and do something in real time from start to finish. I know you guys are loving that as well. And
just going on your point that you've just said there, specifically, like what I'm away to do at the moment, I've just got a pencil here. Now, our filigree border that I've just cut there, some people will ask, you say, you know, especially with a cut and emboss folder, how do you cut an aperture when it comes to the folder? Because obviously it won't fit. So what I'm doing here is I'm just centralising this within the lid of my box here, Joe. And then at each point here, I'm going to put a little pencil mark. So I'm going to work my pencil mark in just at each corner. And then the reason I said to have your ruler ready as well. What we can do is bring in a ruler, and I'm going to join these ones up with a pencil so that we've got a guide to follow. Because what we're then away to do is we're going to use our craft knife and we're going to cut our own aperture out into the middle. If you wanted to bring in one of maybe your rectangle nesting dies or that, you can do. But there's certain projects like this, Joe, what I want to do is show how you can, for instance, create your aperture. Maybe you're new to crafting, you don't have dies. Maybe I'll show you in a straightforward way that you don't have to use any other crafting goodies. So we've got our little rectangle in the middle. If I put that back in, can you see how, if I was to cut out that rectangle there, we're still going to get part of the cardstock underneath. See where that pencil line is? It's still going to show. So what we're going to do, set that one out the way, let's bring in our ruler again, and we're going to bring in our craft knife. Now with the ruler, we've got a steel metal edge on one side. This is the perfect side for your craft knife. And we've also got all of these little grids. So what we're going to do is, if I bring in just a bit of cardstock, can you see? What we're going to do is, see this line here, so this very, very first line here where my thumb is, that is where we're going to match up on the pencil line. So hopefully we see that in a minute. So there is our pencil line here. There's the edge of my ruler, and then we're going to go into that first line. So we're going into that first line here, and then what we're going to do is we're going to cut, and keep in mind what we're doing as well, we're going to work our way down, and I'm going to come maybe about a few millimetres at the top and the bottom as well, because we're going to work our way around. And then once again, pencil line, that first line, we're going to match up on top of the pencil line, and we're going to cut along. And we're working our way around, same pencil line, same first line of our ruler, and we're going to work our way down.
Karen's just asking, Craig, is it fair to assume that most, because you cut that piece of paper that you cut and embossed to, was it 5x7 size you cut that out to?
It was, yeah.
Is it fair to assume that most cut and emboss folders or embossing folders are a 5x7 size unless otherwise stated?
Yes,
So she
absolutely.
says, is that what I should be cutting my cardstock to all the time unless it says something different?
Unless it says something different, you can, of course, use larger cardstock. It just means you're going to be left with a larger outer edge panel. So if you're wanting to get that perfect frame, what I would absolutely say is, yeah, cut your cardstock to 5x7, and then you know that you've got it to the exact size that you want. Because as you say, most folders are 5x7 when it comes to cut and emboss. So then we've created our aperture here. So if I bring this back in, can we see there's no peach cardstock? We've got a crisp, clean, focal straight into the middle.
So what's the size now of that aperture, Craig?
So this aperture here,
how big is that aperture that you've cut now, just for anyone, just as a reference?
3.5 inches.
Yep.
So, yep, 3.5 inches by 5.5. So
Awesome.
3.5 by 5.5.
Fantastic.
So
Also, if we were using the midi rather than the junior, what would the sandwich combination be with that cut and emboss folder for the midi rather than the junior?
So with the midi, so what you'll do is you'll have no plastic folder. You would just have the cut and emboss folder, and you would have the plastic shim as well, the purple shim. The
Awesome. Mariah was asking that, so I hope that clears up for you, Mariah.
Hopefully that helps. So then what we can do, we're bringing in our vellum. So this is the pinky butterfly one that I've chosen. You can choose whichever one that you like, but we've got the vellum here. And what I'm wanting to do is I want to cut this just 1/4 of an inch bigger, so we've got a little matting layer. So with our cut and emboss, this is 4 3/4 by 6 3/4. So therefore, let's go up 1/4 of an inch. So we're going to cut this to 5 by 7. So 5, then the 7. So if I bring this in, we're going to be left with a little matting layer all the way round. So let's move that out the way and move that out the way. And then this is what's going to create the front of our aperture. If maybe you want to put something like acetate on the back of that, you can do. This is where you can have a mix and a match and have a change about if you want. But what we can do now is let's bring in our layer. And I've not popped any ink or any gilding wax on it at all. You can if you want, but I like that crisp, clean white against the peach. I'll add in my tape all the way around. Then if we mat and layer this one here, so let's pop this one on, popping it over the top, and then this is going to create a nice layer. So securing that in and pressing. So let's move that, and I just love this vellum. It's absolutely gorgeous, and it just means whatever is going to be in the box underneath. So if I bring this bit of green cardstock underneath, see how it starts to show through? You know, it makes like that fuzzy kind of effect. So what we can do now is bring our box layer back in. I'm just pressing that down. Then what I can do is this is then going to sit nicely over the top here. So we're going to go round with our dotty tape runner or your straight runner, working our way in. I'm using our tape runner. If you want to use your glues or maybe you want to use your double-sided tapes, so whatever is your preference, it's entirely up to yourself. But if we press that one on, that's now going to create the decoration of our box. We've got a nice clean finish on the back, but even if you wanted to create your own frame in the back, you could do it if you want, but it's not necessary. So we've got that one. So what we can do, Joe, is if I assemble this lid, and then if I go to you for a minute, I can then get stuff ready for the next part, and then it'll give everyone maybe a bit of a catching up.
Yeah, absolutely, and it'll give any people a chance to catch up. And also, if there is anything you did miss or you'd like Craig to repeat in that section, don't be afraid to just drop me a comment now, and I can get Craig just to recap any little bit that maybe happened across there as well. So with the box lid then, just exactly the same way as the base, Craig?
Exactly the same, nothing different. I've just cut a wee slither down to the bottom, cut a little bit of a triangle. I'm adding my adhesive all the way around, and then when I secure this one, what will happen is the tabs will meet, and because we've used our Score Master, and because the measurements on the board are very, very slightly different, although both cardstocks were exactly the same, if I bring this one in, that creates the lid for our box. So if that one sits nicely, my tab is stuck, there we go. So then that creates our 5x7 box, and then into the next bit in a moment or two, we'll start to decorate it.
Awesome. So we'll just take a quick pause then there for a few minutes, Craig. Just give everyone a little chance to get catched up. So I know a lot of you are loving the pace and are crafting along in real time with Craig. Some of you maybe are needing just to catch up a little bit. If you are at the same speed as Craig and you're thinking, oh, I just want to double check that I've got everything I need for the rest of the demo, let me just share with you again all the things that you're going to need in here. Just so you can think, oh, just have a little double check whilst you've got a moment. So you've got all of your cardstocks there, your three 12 by 12s, your sentiment stamp in there, you've got your filigree border, you've got the floral decoupage in there, decoupage toppers, the layered butterflies, the coloured brads. Then, of course, the additional items, the sort of essentials, if you will. These ones here, you've got your guillotine, your MIDI or your junior, your Scoremaster or your Ultimate Pro, your ruler, your knife, your tape runner, 3D foam pads, some quick dry ink pad, some Centura Pearl, and also some white smooth stamping card. Right, do you know who I'm really keen to check in on, Craig?
Who's that?
Our VIP crafty guests that we've got with us in the show today. So let's cross back to our ladies. Look at the smiles on these ladies. Honestly, you guys are cheering up my Monday today. Right, how are you guys getting on then? Kelly, how are you doing for time there? Are you managing to keep up with everything?
Yes, a little behind, but I'm all right.
Sorry?
I said I'm a little behind, but I'm okay.
Oh, well, you've got a few minutes now to get yourself caught up. I'm so excited to see what you end up creating. Nikki, how are you getting on there in Ontario?
I'm a little behind as well, but I'm getting there.
Awesome. Brilliant. Anything that you would like Craig to mention again or recap? Anything you missed in that sort of first section?
Nope.
No?
Nope.
Awesome. Craig? You're going to get 1 gold star then there, clearly,
Brilliant.
obviously.
Well,
right, I'm
one.
not going to distract you for too much longer, ladies. I'm going to let you get back to your projects and we'll give it a few more minutes before we start that next bit. I'm so excited to see what the guys in Boston, Ontario come up with. Whilst you guys are just doing a little bit more catching up, how about we share some of the gorgeous creations that you've all been making with this beautiful Sara Signature collection and sent this next one. This one here in. Oh, I love the Z fold, but look at the trellis work on the Z fold, Craig.
Awesome, isn't that incredible?
Isn't it gorgeous? And the gorgeous Mary, I love this aperture technique that she's done here.
Yeah.
I can't remember what it's called. Is it called iris folding?
Iris folding.
Thought it was. I've had a go at it. It's actually quite easy, but it looks beautiful, Craig, doesn't it?
It does, absolutely. I'm not sure if it was Mary or if it was another lady who'd also sent one on Wake Up Call this morning, and I couldn't remember to start with either if it was iris folding, but it was absolutely gorgeous. I love that.
I really love that. Mary's so talented, such a talented crafter, Mary. Thank you for sending these in. And she's done that lovely decoupage one there as well, Craig, which is beautiful. Is that little, that sentiment banner, is that from the toppers in the back of the papers?
It is indeed. I'm also thinking, is that bit of parchment work or something all the way around as well?
Yes, she's a very
Framework.
accomplished parchment crafter, is Mary. She sent me a gorgeous Christmas card which had loads of beautiful parchment crafting
Oh my
crafting on the front of
gosh!
it.
That's
Mary that sent us those beautiful cards.
Just
Yes. Mary
yes.
in Tennessee. Indeed it is. I must thank again as well Susan Rushton, who sent us all the most beautiful Valentine's cards. Have you had yours yet, Craig? It's in there. Have you seen it?
I
Absolutely
did.
beautiful. And the most beautiful handwritten letter as well. Susan, it was an absolute pleasure to receive. And I know we thanked Susan the other day, but I just want to say how gorgeous it is. And the chocolates are out the back there, and they are definitely getting eaten, which is fantastic. Diana says, it's so beautiful. I'm always afraid of using vellum, but I'm taking chances and going to start using it. Monica says, this is great, Craig. I love your tips and helpful hints, especially on cutting out the opening of the box. Craig, I just wondered if you could just sort of maybe briefly just quickly skip back through the steps that you did to get to the point you have, and then I think after that we're probably ready to press on, judging by the comments.
Absolutely. Let's go for it, 100%. So what we've done is we took a piece of our white smooth stamping card, and we also took a piece of the 12 by 12 Centura Pearl card that comes within the 12 by 12 pad. Each of these, both of them, I cut to 7 1/4 inches by 9 1/4 inches. Using our scoreboard, we scored all the way around at 1 inch. So this one with the peach was on the lid side. This one with the white was on the base side. So that created the box. Then what we done, still using our white smooth stamping card, we took another layer that was 4 3/4 inches by 6 3/4, and we ran that one through our filigree border or filigree frame, and we popped that one over the top. We also then used this aperture to create a little aperture within our lid that we cut out using our craft knife and our ruler. And before we stuck this layer on, what we done is we cut a piece of vellum, which was 5 inches by 7 inches, making it slightly bigger than our filigree border cut and emboss frame. Popped it underneath, and then we've attached it all together using our tape runner. So we get that kind of haze, sort of free-flowing look through the base. That's a mouthful I was trying to say there. Through into the actual, whether it's going to be the gift or whether it's going to be the card that you're going to pop into the middle. That's how we've created that one.
Awesome.
Here we go. So, shall I move on to the next bit, do you think?
I think we're all set,
Let's go
Craig,
for
yeah.
it. Let's go for it. So this is where, what we're going to do now is we're going to use our Floral Decoupage Die Set 2. Now, for this one, I am going to use the pattern papers that came within the pad. Now, I know obviously within that bundle, it's not in the pad. However, what you do get is you get that download on the website that you print out, save it to your computer, print out time and time again. What I would say when it comes to printing out, don't change any settings or any layouts, nothing at all, and then you will get your perfect 6x6 print out. And then what we can do is we can layer these ones up. If you are new to the floral decoupage, we'll show you how these work. And one of the questions sometimes I get asked, Joe, about are decoupage that you print. They'll say, you know, what kind of print or what kind of papers do you use? So my printer, the best way to explain this is my printer is one of those, you know, where the cardstock or the paper sits at the back. So therefore, what happens is the paper comes down and along the front.
Yeah.
So that takes my my 300 GSM white stamping card, no problem at all. So that will work. If it's one of those, you know, where your paper is sitting in the base, it goes in and then it turns itself around.
Yes.
Sometimes they're a bit fussy when it comes to your thick cardstock. So what we say, if it's a back layer printer, your 300 GSM will go through no problem at all, as mine does. If it's one of those other ones, what we'd maybe do is just use one of our lighter cardstocks that we've got and print it out. Smooth card, even Nina card if you want, even a texture card can look quite smart as well. So you just print them out into these sorts of ones.
I guess a Nina card would be a better option if you did have one of those sort of feed-through printers, wouldn't it?
Absolutely. If you do have any trouble and it is open mouth printer, then yeah, your Nina would probably be the better one for that one. But what we can do is we can then bring in our die. So for instance, this die here is our main one, and it's actually got a little, and right where my pinky is, there's an embossed number 1. And then that lets me know that it's going to go on to layer number 1. So what we're going to do is we're going to pop that one on into place, and then using our tape, we're going to secure that one down, making sure that you use enough tape all the way along. And this, by using the decoupage, it's one of those that even as an experienced crafter, it still just makes you go, wow. But then even if you're in a beginner crafter, the look and the effect that you get and knowing that you're the one that's created that is just the best feeling ever. Certainly one to start with, that's for sure, is the decoupage if you're a new crafter. Here we go, layering these ones up. Each die that I'm using is a different number, so I'm going to layer that on top of each one. So now that was 4, so I'm going on to 5, which I can see here. And the little tab from the die sits on top of the number, and you make sure you've just got it sitting nicely over your image, taping them down, and then we're going to run them through the Gemini.
Any questions that you've got, anything you want me to ask Craig to recap for you, remember, you just got to pop into the comments over on Facebook, Crafters TV, Crafts on YouTube, Crafts Companion. Remember as well that at any point you can watch this back. So I know a lot of people are crafting along with us in real time, Craig. A lot of people are saying actually what they prefer to do for the craft along is actually sit, watch it first time, take it in, all in, absorb it, and then actually come back and maybe rerun it and then do the demonstration or the project that time round.
Absolutely.
Exactly, you can do that. As with everything in crafting, there's not really any right or wrong way. It's just the way that you feel most comfortable with. But what we do is, because of the catch-up options that we give you, and you can watch this on demand at any point, you've got all the options. It's completely up to you. You can take it at your own pace, which I think is fantastic.
I do as well. And I think with Friday being our first one, no one is at home. You weren't sure, obviously, the pace. Maybe some thought that we were still going to go quick. So therefore, therefore you didn't join in, you're going to sit and watch. And then now that you know our pace, you know that it's a pace that you can follow. I know that, as Joe says, there's many that are going to watch it and then come back and do it, but equally there's still as many that are joining in today, which is good to see and hear. But what we've done is we've ran that one through, same plate configuration, base cut and plate, plastic, magnetic, and then our top plate. So what we're going to do is we're going to take all of these ones out layer by layer. So I know there's layer 1 here, then I know that's layer 2, then 3, then I've got 4 and 5 going on here. So if we pop these ones out, and then what we can do is, in a moment or two, we're actually going to die cut 2 layers, because I want to show you how, with this one, I've given it extra depth, Joe. And that's by die cutting 2 layers of your images, and then even doing a little bit of fussy cutting. You don't have to, but the option is there. So what we can do is we've got all of these bits now to start with. So what we're going to do is, if we start to layer this one up first, and then what we're going to do is we'll layer up all these components up with foam pads. Then what we'll do is we'll show you something quite smart. Doesn't take a lot to do, but it's quite a smart technique. But first of all, I'm going to take that main die. So this is our main decoupage die that we used beforehand. And I'm going to cut this into the Anthracite Signature Pearl. Like that one. And it doesn't have to be the anthracite. Maybe you've got the brown texture cardstock. Brown, grey, or it could be brown if you want. Brown would actually work quite well. But if you've maybe got a grey Signature Pearl, you can then use that one if you want, or maybe a different tone. But what's going to happen is that depth from the grey is really going to stand out, because it's actually going to create a shadow for this one. It's also going to create a shadow and a backdrop for our butterflies just shortly. And then we're just going to assemble this one.
Absolutely awesome. If you're loving this as well, don't forget you don't actually have that long to wait for the next craft along, Craig, do you?
Nope.
Thursday, 1 p.m. here in the UK, 8 a.m. Eastern Time. It will be the stacked easels. And I guess we can expect the crafting list to go up pretty soon for that one, Craig.
You will be, because this may be a good thing for some of you, not from all of you. It's me that's doing it as well. You've
Fantastic.
got me 3 craft-alongs in a trot. Don't worry, the team are taking over afterwards. It's not always going to be me. But yeah, I've got the one on Thursday that's going to be stacked easels. I'm going to be working on it tonight, and I think because we're approaching into Valentine's, I'm going to keep it Valentine's themed. But keep your eyes peeled for your actual product list that you'll need.
I'm really looking forward to doing that with you on Thursday, Craig. Lynn Harvey would like to know, Craig, what is your best tip for lining up the die with the decoupage pad?
So the best tip, what I will always do to start with, and actually I'll show you again in a minute because we'll need to cut out some more. So I tell you what, I'll answer that one just in a moment when we come back to lining this one up. Joe, if you can remind me, and I'll just explain to you how I like to line them up.
Perfect, I shall remind you.
But what I've done here is I've used that backdrop die and I've cut out the anthracite cardstock. This is going to create our shadow. So what I'm then going to do is if I pop this one over the top, so I want this butterfly here to be facing the top. So we can pop this one over. We're going to then pop that one on, and I'm going to press. So what we can do now is let's take a few of these other layers, and we're going to layer them up with the foam pads. I've put the foam pads on the shopping list, but you can if you want. If you want to use your glue gel instead, then of course you can do. But I will, of course, always pop on the pads. So layering these ones up, and all that I'm just doing at the moment is just popping my tape on the back. Like this.
If you didn't want to use foam pads, 3D glue gel, Craig can be absolutely fine for this as well. Is there a sort of benefit to using foam pads over glue gel at this point?
Foam pads is an instant. So that just means if you need that quick card, then what happens is the foam pads, not only do they still give you the height, but they give you that instant option of being able to give it to the recipient. If you use glue gel, which most people do when it comes to decoupage, the only thing with that one is you have to wait on it drying. So if you want to make a card with dimension and you want to give it straight away, foam pads have that benefit.
Awesome. Always glad to know. I'm not going to lie, Craig, the comments are a bit slow. Not many people commenting. And that pleases me. Do you know why, Craig? Because it means everyone is crafting along with us. I've just got this vision of, I feel like if we could get like a big Zoom going one day, and we could have like a big bank of walls, it'd be like The Voice, Craig. You know, we'd have see all of our crafters beavering away, crafting. So exciting that the whole of the Crafters TV family, the whole of the crafty community are all sat there working on the same project. It's a really exciting thought, isn't it?
It is. It really is. To think that, usually you're crafting away at home while watching us, but you're doing your own project. The thought of that you're at home making exactly what I'm doing, or maybe just changing some of the colours slightly, or maybe you're just making something completely different. As you say, Joe, it's a really exciting thought, knowing that we are literally all crafting away. And yeah, maybe one day we'll get that big Zoom feature, eh? That would be quite smart. But layering them up, we're popping image on top of image, a bit like a jigsaw, so you're just having a look. So we've got this butterfly, that's going to go there. And then let's take this last one, and we're going to take these ones here. So let's pop this back bit off. And then what we can do is we can pop this one onto here, which then is going to go onto this bit. But then what we can do is I can set that to the side at the moment. So I'm going to tilt it so you'll be able to see from up above, and then we'll go front off as well. And see how, Joe, see how you've got nice depth there?
Beautiful.
What we're going to do, just in a minute, is we're going to enhance that even more. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do exactly what we've done before, and let's layer these ones up. And then this is where I can answer that question about popping the dies over the top.
Oh, awesome, Craig, thank you. I'm glad I reminded you.
No problem. I was trying to remind myself.
I had one job, didn't I?
I was trying to remind myself. With this base layer, what you've got is you've got a white halo all the way around. So you've got that white guide that sits all the way around. So all that I'm going to do is I'm going to pop my die on the top, and always making sure, so where we've got that embossed number 1 on this tiny little pip of a die here at the side, you've got that slight emboss. All you need to do is make sure that shadows over the number. So we're going to pop that one over so it covers. And then all that I want to do is make sure that I cannot see any colour all the way around. All we can see is the colour of the paper on the backdrop. So if I move that, see how we can start to see some of that image underneath. We don't want that. So we're going to move it. Again, if I move it too far, we can see the image underneath. So you're just wanting to position that in over the top, making sure that you don't see any of the colour, any of the outline, and we can secure it. And as for the other layers, they don't have that white halo as such. However, you're still doing exactly the same, Joe. You're popping it over the top, making sure the tab with the embossed number sits on top of the number. Sit that one over the top, and I'm making sure all of the coloured outline is nowhere to be seen. And we're going to pop that one on. And then what I'm going to do, Joe, is I'm going to work my way over the top, each of these layers, and then I'm going to cut them through the Gemini.
Awesome. It's really exciting, Craig. Angela is doing a 5x7 card rather than a box for a 5x7. So she's mixing it up and doing it as a card rather than a box. Absolutely, you can do that. I love it when you guys, sort of go your own way with things. Lainey's saying, I love the decoupage kits. I got mine Saturday. I've spent most of the day playing with them. Craig, I really love how you have used the grey as a shadow, says Deborah Lafleur as well. I don't want you to think, if anyone that hasn't got this collection out there, that you've missed out on this craft along. The collection is available. I'll take you through it all again at the end of Craig's craft along, and you'll be able to come back and watch this craft along back at any point, which is really, really exciting. It's going to live forever, as all of our Crafters TV shows do, across on our website, crafterscompanion.co.uk.com or .eu. That is also where you can watch and shop at the same time. Don't forget as well. Now, there's, as I said earlier, if any questions at any point, any comments, anything you've missed, anything you want Craig to go back over, just take a quick pause, drop into the comments, and I will do my best to get Craig to recap those bits for you, which is fantastic. So sandwich for these decoupage dies, Craig, is it a sort of straightforward bog standard sandwich that we've used for all of other dies?
Absolutely, yep. So I would say we went through when we die cut it the first time, exactly the same combination whether you're using any of your wafer thin dies. So all that we're doing is just running that one through. So it goes onto your base cutting plate, it goes on top, then it has your plastic shim, you have your magnetic shim, and then you have your top plate as well. So exactly the same configuration when it comes to your Gemini dies. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to just pop all of these bits out. Some of these we're going to pop on our card, and then some of these we're actually going to snip out. Don't forget, you've got that versatility as well. If you want to snip out, add extra detail, you can do. And what I mean by that is if I pop these bits out, Joe, so we've got all of these, so we've got this one, so I think that's all my bits out, which it is. So before we do that, I did miss, so this butterfly here also comes with, comes once it's die cut, but I forgot to pop this one on. So let's pop it on into place first. Then what we can do is we can add to the depth if we want. You don't just have to use one layer. What you can then do is die cut multiple layers and then pop them on top. So let's take the backing off. Let's pop this one here. So this is how it looks once it's all layered up. Now what we can do is we can start to really enhance that layer if we want to. So let's bring in some more. So let's bring this one on, and then what we can do, have a play, see where you want them, pop them on top. So you maybe want that rose to be really, really stand out. You maybe want, let's bring this one here. So I tell you what, this one can go there, but let's snip into it. Now you absolutely don't need to do this bit with me on the craft along if you don't want to. This is to show you you've got that option, but of course, as it's craft along, feel free to do exactly what I'm doing and layering them up.
And it is so lovely to see it created, you know, from start to end in real time, Craig. You know, all of the steps all the way through, which I think is so awesome. Don't forget as well, Liz says, no commenting, Joe, busy keeping up with Craig. Teresa says, can these be embossed a second time with the embossing mat, these dies, Craig?
No, but what it does give you already is it doesn't emboss the detail, it debosses the detail. So what that means, if we, let's take this one for the time being, what I'll do is, if I pop this one on, and just while I'm doing this bit, Joe, what I'm going to do is I'm going to run one of these dies through onto this anthracite, and it'll show you exactly what I mean. So let's die cut this one.
A great idea from Terry Lee as well. She's really been enjoying the decoupage. What she's done, Craig, is she's layered a piece of mirror under every layer as a drop shadow.
Wow.
That's a cool idea, isn't it?
How spectacular would that look? That would look so smart.
Shiny.
Shiny. Very, very shiny, won't it? Very shiny. So yeah, so it might be a bit of black, or it might be the anthracite, or it might be some of the mirror card that comes within the 12 by 12 bundle. But let's just show you, just answering that question, Joe. So this is how it would look if you die cut it on its own and you actually get the debossed image. So therefore, popping it through with a rubber embossing mat isn't actually going to do anything.
Not going to help.
It's already doing the debossed for you. So it just saves you doing that one. So what I'm doing now is I'm just picking out a few bits and pieces from these extras, Joe. So all that I'm doing, let's have a look at this butterfly. Let's chop that one out. And then what we can even do, if I wanted to, I can go into all of this, even this little bit, and fussy cut.
So you're creating new layers in essence?
You are. So don't just think as the decoupage sheets or the ones that you're printing at home as you can only use them in one way. You absolutely can start to create your own layers if you want. I'm just going to do a couple more on this one, and then I think we're going to take another break, aren't we? And then we'll come back.
People at home don't have quite as fast foam pad fingers. They don't have the fastest foam pad thumbs in the West. Absolutely, yeah. So I think we're just a little fiddly bit. Once you've put yours together, Craig, I think we'll give you another opportunity. So if you are falling behind a little bit, Don't worry, going to give you a chance to catch up very, very soon. We will do a little bit of gossiping, show some pictures, have a chat with our ladies that have joined us as well. You definitely get a chance to catch up in the next couple of minutes.
Absolutely. And this is where, if you're actually not even relatively new crafting, if you are experienced but you have trouble with the foam pads, this is where, as I'll always say, your glue gel will be your best friend. The glue gel is always going to be a lot easier and quicker if you're ever unsure about layers with the foam pads.
Penny's Porch. I don't think that's her actual birth name. Says, I wonder why. Do you know what we need to do? We need to find out why people's YouTube names are their YouTube names, Craig. I'd love to know. We need a bit of context, don't we? She says she loves to ink the edges of each layer, and that really helps to make them pop as well. That's a lovely idea.
That's a really good idea, yeah. Just by going around all of these edges, it's a really good idea just to enhance it.
Shadiah loves to put the clear overlay, sparkle overlay on hers to make them pop as well. Another really lovely idea. Absolutely, you can really freestyle it with this element, I'd imagine, Craig.
You can do, absolutely. Even go around the edges with a bit of the gilding waxes if you want, or of course, yes, the inks, or you can die cut your layers that we were just on about and do them in separate colours, whether it's your mirror or any of your other texture card, completely up to yourself. And then all that I'm just going to do this last one here, Joe, and pop this one on. Having a look at the layers that I had left, seeing where I could snip out bits such as the leaves or the foliage. As I said at the start, you don't have to do that. Maybe you want to just do the layers as they are, but at least having that option to go extra dimensional with them, then you absolutely can do. So you can see it from up above, and then we'll go close in a moment, and then you can see there, so it's just creating your own layers, and you can see that you can create all that detail as well. And because you've got the debossed image in the middle, you've got that little bit of texture as well.
Absolutely, it does. I mean, if you are behind a little bit time-wise, you could just do the standard layers, couldn't you there, Craig?
Of course you can.
Just to make that a little bit quicker for yourself if you are behind. We are going to take a quick pause from Craig, just to give you guys a little chance to get yourself caught up. This would be a great opportunity as well, if there is something that you missed, something that you'd like Craig to recap from that last section of his craft along, you can let me know over on Facebook, Crafters TV, across on YouTube, search for Crafters Companion, and you'll find us there as well. So lots of you doing that. I don't have loads of comments to read out, as I said, because so many of you are actually crafting along in real time, which is super exciting. We've had some more pictures in there. The lovely Lynn has used the pop-out numbers along with some rose gold and a little bit of Caring Thoughts as well. Craig, that's a good combo, that, isn't it?
That's a really good combo. How elegant does that look? And it goes to show how you can use the Caring Thoughts for a completely different occasion and look phenomenal.
Really, really gorgeous. And then also Marsha has sent this in. I love, what collection are those? They're not cogs, are they, Craig? But they're almost like sort of lacy cogs on the right side. See them? Really fantastic.
Is that not from, that's a border, is that not from Garden of Love?
It's a border, isn't it? I didn't see it as a border. Because it's got the topper on there from the topper collection. It sort of hides the fact that it's a border. Yeah, it really makes it look different. Those layered butterflies along with those floral decoupage, just gorgeous. And all the papers really working so well together, which is absolutely fantastic. Denise says, Craig is the foam pad wizard. He really, really is. Would you like to just take a second, Craig, if you can, just to quickly recap the steps that you did in that second part there? Is that okay?
I will do, yeah, no problem at all. Because I think what we'll do as well in a moment, we'll go for another little breather, because what I'm going to explain to you now, in case you wonder why, we're going to do the butterflies just shortly, but we need to do 3 lots. So what we're doing, when we come back, I'll show you how to do one, and then I think we're going to come back to you, and we'll all do them together as well.
So you've got you've basically got a little bit of crafting, and then you've got another little break to get yourself caught up again. So if you are behind, don't worry, loads of opportunities for you to catch up. And remember, that if you want to, you can just pause it if you need to, and then carry on crafting along afterwards. Nothing to stop you pausing the feed wherever you are if you still need a little bit more time, which is fantastic. Let's just give you a little bit longer just to get caught up, and then we will press on with the next element. Whilst we do that, let's just recap the details of how you can watch and shop at the same time. Hi, I'm Joe from Crafters TV, and I'm here to show you how you can grab the best deals and shop whilst you watch during our shows. So the best way to watch us is always on Crafters TV. Head on over to our homepage and go to Crafters TV. You can see all of our shows, offers, and even shop while you watch. Now if you want to get involved and comment along, head over to our Facebook page. Come say hello, ask us some questions, and lol with us. Or you can watch us on YouTube. Simply head to our Crafters Companion YouTube channel. Got a smart TV? You can even AirPlay directly onto your big screen. We're constantly adding new and exciting shows to our schedule, so don't forget to check in. It's never been easier to have us in your living room. It's always fun here at Crafters TV, so come join us as we create every day. We do create every day. You guys create every day, which is always fun as well. Lots of, Penny's let me know why she's called Penny Porch on YouTube, Craig. She's my YouTube channel is Penny's, try that again, shall I? You can tell it's Monday, can't you? She says, my YouTube channel is Penny's Porch. My name is Penny Whitlock. I actually just ordered a Gemini yesterday because of some problems with my hands. And the hand crank machine I was using wasn't that great. Well, I'm glad you've got your Gemini. Please let me know once it arrives, Penny, exactly how you are getting on with it, because I really, really would love to know. Right, I think we're about good to go with this next step, Craig. As Craig just said a moment ago, there's going to be quite a short next step, and then you'll get a pause again to keep crafting along, which is fantastic. So, yeah, over to you, Craig.
Thank you very much. So what we're going to do is we're going to use the layered butterflies for this one here. So we're going to take each of the butterflies. So you've got the base body, you've got the detail of the body, then you've got the outline as well. You can be using the florals as well. I'm not going to be using them within this project, but you can use them if you want. So what we're going to need is we're going to take some of that excess peach pearl card. We're going to take the excess of the anthracite and another bit, the excess of the white smooth stamping card. So again, as you'll probably notice, I've tried to really retain the colours and use the same throughout, so we're not mixing and matching lots of different cardstocks from your stash. So what we're going to do to start with is let's just chop a little bit out. So we're going to do grey one. So the grey is going to be the body of the butterfly. So this is the full outline. So what we can do is we can tape that one down. Then what we can do is the butterfly layer that's got a little bit more of the detail within it. We are going to tape that one down. So let's secure that one. Press that one on, and then we can take another piece from the white, and that's going to be that outline.
I love the way you say white, Craig.
White.
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 I love that. It's got a little whoo to it, which I love it. I think it's like a bit like the cool whip guy from Family Guy.
What? I don't watch that.
White. Neither do I.
White. Oh.
It was a compliment, Craig.
Oh, that's good then. I'm going to be thinking and try to listen to myself saying white.
White.
White. Popping them onto our plate, and we're going to run these ones through. As you can see, they're small enough, they're going to go through your mini or even your go. Same plate configuration, 2 cutting plates, plastic shim, magnetic shim, that's going to go through. We're going to layer this one up, and then what we need to do is we need to do another 2, so exactly the same, nothing different, and at that point that's when we will go back to Joe and just go over a few other bits and pieces.
Just thinking, Craig, if someone was a little bit behind, what they could do is, could they just make one?
Of course.
And then at the end of the craft along, then come back and do the other 2 and then assemble them onto their box at the very end. Would it matter, or is it integral to the assembly that all 3 go on at the same time?
No, I'll be popping them all at the same time, but as Joe just said, it's an excellent idea. If you are a little bit behind and you want to keep following my pace, just do the 1 butterfly, or maybe just do the 2, depending on your timing, and then you can come back and do the other ones later if you want. But what we are going to do is let's take these ones here. So we've got our 3 butterflies. I'm going to use my dotted tape pen for this one. So let's take the peach, which if we pop that one over, you'll see how you can start to see that grey coming through. So it matches straight over the top. So I've popped a little bit of adhesive onto the body, and I'm going to pop it on flat to start with and press. Then what we're going to do is we're going to take the outline of the white layer. We're going to do exactly the same. Adhesive onto the body. and we're going to pop this one over the top, which creates the outline. Now if I lift that one up, I always like to just hold it into the body with my thumb, putting a bit of pressure just while I pull the wings up. So if we pull them up, and then we're going to do the same on this side, we get even more of a dimensional butterfly.
Fabulous.
You
So
can
beautiful,
see.
aren't they?
So, so beautiful. You can then back them maybe onto little bits more of the vellum if you want to. It's entirely up to yourself. So what I'm going to do now is, if you are at the same stage as me, we are going to do another two, exactly the same, nothing different. We're going to die cut them both, we're going to layer them up, and then by the end, when we come back to me, we'll have 3 butterflies all good to go to carry on with the project.
Absolutely fabulous, Craig. I love that. So this is your opportunity. You can continue cutting those butterflies as well. Let me know again if there's anything that you need recapping. That is why I'm here with my trusty iPad ready to pop any questions that you've got. A lot of people still talking about the decoupage. It seems to be something that people absolutely love, Craig. Evelyn talking about using glitter around the edges for decoupage layers, which is a lovely, lovely way of using them. Teresa says, are these scissors non-stick? So those foam pads don't stick to them. They are non-stick. Yeah, they've got a lovely non-stick coating on them. Anne wants to know what GSM are the paper pads. The luxury cardstock is 250 GSM. The vellum is 150 GSM. And the printed papers, or printed paper pad, is 180 GSM. So 250, 150, and 180. So I hope that clears that up for you, Anne. May's Cocoa Patch has said, hi there. My name's May's Cocoa Patch because my name is May, my dog is called Coco, and my eldest cat is called Patch. There you go. Now I know. Thank you for that. Laurie says, "Oh my gosh, Craig, this is this craft along is fantastic." I thought she said it's craft along-tastic then, which is maybe a new term that we've invented. Craft along-tastic. She says, "I'm loving this and really, really learning so much. So thank you. You are more than welcome, Laurie." Right. Shall we just quickly dip back in with our ladies who are crafting along? Kelly, how are you getting on there in Boston?
I'm doing pretty good.
You're doing good. Okay, fabulous. I can't wait to see what you come up with. Nikki, are we all good still there in Canada?
We are. I'm on my last butterfly.
Awesome. How are you both doing? How are you both doing for time? You managing to keep up okay?
Yes, I've caught up now.
Absolutely
Yes.
perfect. Right, I'm not going to distract you too much because it's almost sabotage, isn't it? If I keep you chatting for too long when you should be doing your crafting. Keep going, ladies. I'm really excited to see what you've made. I will drop back in after the next stage with you. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to give you slightly longer this break because I know you had 3 of those to make. What I would like to do is just for anyone out there that doesn't have the collection and is thinking, gosh, I would really love to get this and actually watch this back at a later time, then absolutely you can. You can go for the full collection. All of the collection is available individually as well. So I'm just going to quickly go through this. What you've got here is your interchangeable sentiments just here. So this is your metal die with love and friendship. So what you've got are your 3 different sentiments. You can layer them up. So you've got thinking of you, just because, and you've also got this one just here, which says with peace and... I can't see that from upside down actually. What did it say? With love and friendship. There we are. Sorry. Reading it upside down, sometimes I was like, oh, I thought it said, from upside down, it looked like, well, it is called love and friendship. So I really should have known, shouldn't I? I wanted to say with peace and humanity is what I nearly read it as. I mean, that is not what it says at all, guys. Then you've got your butterfly swirls, which is this one just here, which is absolutely gorgeous. This is your butterfly swirls that you've got just here, which is fantastic. Everything available individually, as I said. If you spend £40 or $40, you save an extra £15. Now you've got your 2 decoupage dies. So this one here is your floral decoupage. So you've got the 2 different options there for you. So that is your first one. And then you've got your second one there as well. Then we've got some sentiment dies. So you've got Just to Say, which is this one just here. And you've also got You're in My Thoughts, which is that one just there as well. We've then got the filigree border is the next element for you, which is this one just here. And there's that one, a gorgeous cut and emboss folder for you. We've then got your stamp. So this is with a grateful heart. Got some really lovely ones in here. I love this sort of an uplifting, inspiring kind of grateful sentiment collection. And the other one you've got then is Always in My Thoughts, which is your next one just there. After that, we then have the topper dies that we've just talked about. So this is the layered roses that you've got just here. So this is your layered roses there, as you can see, which is that one. And then as well as the layered roses, you also have the layered butterflies as well, as you can see just there. Then you've got your ribbons. So you've got these gorgeous organza ribbons in here that are just beautiful. All colour matched to go with the collection beautifully. And you've then got your coloured brads in there as well, which is fantastic. So that's all of your hardware, as I like to call it. And then what you've got, of course, is all of, I very nearly dropped all of those then, did you see that? Then what you've got is your papers as well. So you've got your printed papers. Don't forget, not only do you have your printed papers, it's also got 4 sheets, which is 70 die cut toppers in the back of there, as well as 36 sheets of 180 GSM patterned papers, just beautiful, really lovely designs in there. You've then got the vellums, which are just stunning. And the great thing about the vellums is this time we've included planes in there as well, which is fantastic. So you've got some like matte layers in effect. I guess, yeah, matting and laying your vellums with a plane and then patterned over the top is going to be gorgeous, isn't it? And then for the first time ever, we've included the luxury cardstock. So you get all the different colourways. You get mirror, matte mirror, and also your pearlescent in there in the colourways. That's all perfectly matched for you. Individually, spend £40 or $40, you'll get a 15% saving. Remember though, if you get the whole collection together, that's the best way to get the best value. Club Inspire Platinum members save £80, nearly $100 compared to buying the individuals on their own. Now, what we've also got available for you as a separate collection is some card blanks for you. So 2 different sizes in here, which is absolutely awesome. So you've got your 4x6 and your 5x7, and then you've also got the 6x6 papers in here as well, which is exactly the same amount of pages and designs as the 12x12, just in that smaller 6x6 size. Monica's saying, I did not have a few of the items, so today I'm watching and learning, so when I can, I'll be better prepared, but my goodness, this is such a great show. Monica, you are more than welcome, and as I keep saying, you can watch this back at any time over on our website. Liz Reese-Pedler says, hi Joe, my favourite word that Craig says is film. Get him to say it, I just love it.
Film?
No, you don't say it like that normally.
Film?
You say film.
Film?
You say film normally, yeah.
Film?
Film. Yeah. You say it way more English today than you, with much more of an English accent than you normally do.
No,
we love the way you say film. Normally.
When someone asks you to say a word that, film.
Yeah, you can't. You're just when you, yeah. It just needs to be natural, doesn't it? You're just so proper today. Listra says, I am trying to convince my husband I need this. Listra's husband. I think she needs this, all right? Terry Lee says, I miss what the brads are for. It's a great point, actually, Craig. How would you see yourself using the brads in this collection?
So brads you can use an alternative instead of your gems or your pearls. They could be a little accent like we're going to do as well. Brads are perfect for attaching your vellum. So if you're wanting to put 4 little brads in each corner, instead of using any of your tapes or maybe your glues, anything where adhesive might show, although our tacky glue is really quite good and you don't actually see a lot of it through, alternatively, what you can do is use the brads to attach to your card blanks or that. So really, there's a multitude of different ways. If you really like to get fancy with your crafting, there's lots of different cards in that you'll find online, on Pinterest, all of that, where there's movement in them, and you can use the brads to create the movement. So yeah, they're a little fun alternative to have that we've never seen before in the collection.
Awesome, thanks for that, Craig. Well, judging by the comments, Craig, I think that most people are now caught up, and we could press on with the next bit if you're ready.
I am indeed. So I've got my 3 butterflies as well, and not very like, exactly like the other day, and I know Joe can vouch for this. I didn't have these pre-done. I physically stood, cut them and put them together while you're live. So literally, I am doing it with you at home, so I know the speed that we're going. So we've got our 3 butterflies. We've got our decoupage as well. we've got our box. So what we're going to do is we're going to attach 3 little brads in a moment, but what we can do is we can get our sentiment done. And we're going to bring in our stamp set. So the one that I'm using is the with a grateful heart. And all that I'm going to do is I'm going to use this sending you warm hugs. So this is where you could be popping a little gift inside if you want. Or my idea of when creating it was how I like my dimensional cards. So therefore, if you make a card where you've got a lot of dimension on it, then you've got that box to pop it in. Alternatively, Joe, this could be a boxed envelope. If you like to use our envelope plus, you'll be able to do that as well. So lots of different takes that you could use your box with. But what we're going to do is we're going to bring that stamp set in, and then I'm going to bring in my stamping platform, and I'm going to line this one up. So what I'm doing is I'm using the grids that are on the platform as a bit of a guide, just so that we can keep it as straight as possible. So what we can do is layer that one on, just to make sure I've got that straight. I'm going to turn it over to see that I have. If you don't think you have, you can just maneuver it from the back, so you can get that where you want to go. Then what you could do is you could either stamp it, or what I like to do, and this is something that I get asked quite a lot, hence why I'm doing it on this one, is I like to cut my layer first for my sentiment. So what I'm doing is I'm using my guillotine. See this metal edge here? Don't ever ignore that. Use that as a guide as well. You know, it's there to help you if you want. So what I'm doing is I'm going to bring in my cardstock and I'm going to go right to that metal edge. So where my finger is, I'm going to pop my card so you can see the metal, it's gone. There we are. So I've got it right up to that metal ridge. And then I'm going to line that one up. And then once I'm happy with that, I'm going to use my finger guard, and I'm going to cut. That then is going to give me a nice little slither for me to stamp my sentiment on. So what I can do is move that one out the way just for the time being. Then I'm going to bring in my stamping platform again, and then we're going to use the anthracite that we're going to use. So we're using the quick dry for this one. What I'm then going to do, just stamp it on top. And we're going to press. Now, if you don't have a stamping mat, don't worry. I'm on purpose not going to use a stamping mat in case you don't. But I'm going to pop my cardstock over the top. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to pop it that way. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get that where I want. Now, no, it will be all right. My head won't be in the way. I'm just lining that up along my cardstock. So once I'm happy, I'm then going to press and commit. So we're going to press. That's then going to give me, you can just see it there, sending you warm hugs. So what I can do now is bring in our guillotine again, and I'm just going to straighten and neaten those edges. So I'm going to pop along, and I'm going to snip. Just use my guillotine, and all that I'm going to do is roughly so it's got the same width at each side. And then what I can do is a remaining bit of our anthracite. So before we used that metal ridge where my finger is as a guide. This time we're going to come right up to the 1 inch mark. I'm going to pop that one so it's lined up against the 1 inch. And then I'm going to cut. So this is going to give us a matting layer. But you'll find, for my liking, Joe, that's too much of a matting layer. See how that's giving it, it's making that grey.
It's too wide or it's too long?
Yeah,
too wide.
Well, we're going to chop it down, but yeah, too wide.
Right,
there's too much of a layer all the way around. So what I'm going to do for this one is let's cut it to the right length first off. So what we can do is 4 inches. So I'm going to cut this down to 4 1/4, and then you'll see, so this gives us our layer, but I want to trim a bit at the top here because there's just too much cardstock showing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull it in so you can see how we were at the 1 inch. If you want to use your craft knife, then you can do. It's up to yourself, but I'm going to trim off just a couple of millimeters really, just to make it a bit smaller. So I'm lining that one up into my guillotine, get it where I want, just position it up against the line.
And this is just personal preference here, Craig, isn't it? If you love a big, wide matting layer, you want to do several matting layers at this point, I guess they're all things that you can do.
Absolutely. It is exactly personal choice. Some might not want a layer on it, some might want a thick layer, some might want a thin layer. Personal choice, as you say, Joe, absolutely. So I can bring that one in now, and then that's ready to assemble onto the card. And then what we can do, because we're just about there, is we can then assemble all these last remaining bits. So popping this one on into place. Then what I'm going to do is if I bring back in my box that we can see here, now you can either attach the brads before you assemble the box, or you can do it now, like I'm away to do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in the brads here. I'm only going to pop 3 in the top right hand corner. So what I'm going to do, using my pokey tool, I'm going to pop a hole, and I'm going to do 3 of them side by side.
Oh, that's very satisfying, isn't it?
Very satisfying, isn't it?
Honestly, I think I might just get some vellum, put it
Just to
over
do
like a
that.
box or something, and just sit there.
Just to do that, isn't it? Yep.
Gorgeous.
Such a satisfying sound, just going all the way around and just popping the vellum. And then with the brads, I'm going to feed these ones through. I've gone for a pink, a mint, and a peach. But you can use any colours because there's a variety of different colours. And I'm going to pop these ones here. So I'm going to pop them into the middle. Then what I am going to do is on the back here, I'm going to then just split them using my finger. With the split pins, and you get away with what I'm away to say, you will start to see bits of the legs of the split pins throughout the vellums, but I like that look. I think it's very artistic when it comes to your split pins. So what we can do is press them ones in, and then that gives us a little accent in the top corner. But this is where maybe you would want to pop them in all 4 corners if you want. It's up to yourself. Then what we can do is let's bring in our final elements, and we're going to layer these ones up. So let's pop our tape runner onto the back, and we can then position this one into the bottom. So I'm going into the bottom left, and we're going to press. I'm going to pop this back onto my base just so I've got a bit of pressure to press. So press that one in. I'm going to bring in my sentiment, and what I'm going to do is just loosely with my fingers, I'm going to roll it back and forwards just to give it a bit of flexibility within the sentiment. And then on this bit here at the back, I'm going to pop a few foam pads. So let's pop a few on. We're going to do double height here, just so it holds the height. So take that back and off here, pop another one on. And then what we're also going to do, at the base of this sentiment here, let's pop a bit of tape on. And then we can tuck this one in. So we can tuck it in under one of these so it can still see the sentiment just popping out. I'm going to press that foam pad's going to keep that dome effect. And then what we can do is bring in our butterflies. You can position them where you like, move them about, see where you want them to go. And then once you're happy, let's pop our tape on, and we can pop that one in here. Always do as well, Joe, have it so that each butterfly are facing a different direction.
Okay.
See how they're all facing the same way there. It looks nice. It looks nice, but see if you just turn them slightly. So you've got one going one way, one going the other, one going back the other way. It's just more free-flowing and a bit more organic when it comes to the layout. What I'm going to do is press.
If you only had 2 on there, would you have them both go in the same direction?
I would always have them in different directions. Okay. And I would never have 2. I would always
because
have
in
3.
my head, I think if it's 2, they would have to be going in the same direction, but 3, they can all go different directions. It's funny how our brains work and see things, isn't it?
It is. But then in crafting, I wouldn't have 2, Joe. I would have 3.
Yeah, odd numbers is what we seem to see a lot, don't we?
Yeah, absolutely. But do you know what? It's your project. If you want to have them in the same way, you can do. Change in different directions, you can do. But here we go. So if we pull these wings up, then if I go back into this box that I have, I've taken one of those 5x7 card blanks that Joe was showing. And then that can go in. So this could be a card where you've got lots of dimension, lots of height. You could have some of your toppers on it, maybe the decoupage on it. Your card's going to sit nicely in there. Then what we can do is we can pop our lid over the top into place. And then we've got our box that we can see here. We've got that shadow effect coming through
Absolutely
with the
stunning,
vellum.
Craig.
And it looks
Absolutely
really well.
gorgeous. It really is an awesome, awesome project. It is absolutely fantastic.
Thank you.
Really gorgeous.
Thank you very much.
Now, I know you guys are probably still busy crafting along, maybe sort of catching up, which is fantastic. So we'll give you a chance to do that. I'll just recap everything that you needed, because I know some of you might have been watching this or you're watching it back at a later date, and you've watched all of it, and now you're thinking, okay, now I'm going to get everything out, and now I'm going to go back to the start and start again. So let me just recap everything that Craig used there in that creation. Your 3 12 by 12 pads, as you can see, you've got your sentiment stamps, your cut and emboss folder, the floral decoupage, the decoupage topper pad. If you don't have the topper pad, you can, of course, remember, download the imagery for that topper pad from the link in the description of the collection on our website. Got your coloured brads in there as well. And then the stuff that wasn't in the collection that Craig used, your essentials, if you will, were all of these. So your large guillotine, your Gemini MIDI, or you can use your Junior, the Scoremaster, or your Ultimate Pro, craft ruler, craft knife, tape runner, 3D foam pads, or you could use your glue gel. It's a quick dry ink pad, some Centura Pearl as well. If you didn't have the exact ink pads and Centura Pearl, you could use any one you wish, and some white smooth stamping card as well. So that is everything that Craig has used in that demonstration. What I would love you to do now is, in the comments as you finish, let me know that you've finished. That's what I'd love to do. I'd love to see how many people have actually crafted along live and completed that finished project. If you've also got time, I would love for you to send me a picture of your creation. You can do that, studio@crafterscompanion.co.uk down there. Couple of questions coming in. Diane says, so is the vellum supposed to be peeking out from under the frame piece, Craig?
Absolutely. Yes, I've done it so the vellum is 1/4 of an inch bigger all the way around, so it's giving you that faux matten layer. So absolutely, it is peeking out of your white card. So if you've done that, you are spot on. If you've not done that, it's no problem. Don't worry about it. But yes, that is how I intended it to be.
Alison Soberman says, I say it already, it might be the first show of the week, Craig, but demo of the week right there. I mean, do we vote in this one for the demo of the show? I think it's a foregone conclusion, isn't it, in this show?
We did on Fridays.
Did you?
Yeah.
We'll still vote. Okay, because Craig, I know you've got some other demonstrations that you want to squeeze in before the end of the show, which is fantastic. Shadiah says, this is a beautiful box, thanks for the inspo and the education. Renee's loving the Caring Thoughts collection. I love the box, have so much fun crafting along with my kit, says Lainey. I can't wait to see your pictures coming in. If you don't get your box finished before the end of the show, do not worry, because I'll tell you what I would love to do is the pictures that we receive today and any that we get in between now and our next craft along on Thursday, maybe we could show some of the creations from this craft along on Thursday's show. Might be something lovely we can do. What I want to do is go back through that collection for you. So let me just get myself organised. Here we are. So what we've got is the With Love and Friendship metal dice. Remember, is that interchangeable sentiment elements, just because with love and friendship and thinking of you. You've then got as well this one here, which is your butterfly swirls, as you can see. You've got your 2 decoupage dies in here. You're not receiving the pad, but you can download the imagery from the description of this product on the website. So it's all there ready for you to download and start crafting with. You've got a couple of sentiments in here. So you've got Just to Say, and you've also got You Are In My Thoughts. We've also got another cut and emboss folder. I love that you've got 2 cut and emboss folders in this collection, which is fantastic. We've then got stamps in here for you as well. You've got your With a Grateful Heart collection, and you've also got the Always In My Thoughts collection there as well. Then we come down to the layered dies. I love these 3D layered roses. They are just gorgeous. You also get the layered butterfly in there as well. We also have that beautiful ribbon in there. And last but by no means least, you do also have those fabric brads as well. It is a gorgeous collection. That isn't all of it though, remember, because what you've also then got as well are your paper pads. Now with the paper pads, you've got, remember, your topper pads in the back of here, 70 die cut toppers in there for you, and then you've got 36 sheets of gorgeous printed paper, all the designs designed to work together with the rest of the collection. You've then got the Vellum Pad. This is the second time I think we've done a Vellum Pad in a size 12 by 12 size. First one that we've given you plain vellums in here as well, like these ones, so it means you can layer them over or under. I love the difference that that makes, just adding that plain vellum over the top. Just beautiful. You've got so many options when it comes to crafting with this collection. So you've got those in there, 36 pages there for you as well. And then this one, this is your luxury card pack. So you've got your mirror, you've got your matte mirror, and you've got your pearl, and you've got it in the different colourways all through there as well. I know a lot of you so far have ordered the big collection in the show and are adding some extras of the card stocks in there. They are all available individually. Everything, in fact, in the collection is available individually. And if you're spending over £40, you will save an extra 15%. Club Inspire Platinum members, you can get this today for £107.20 or £145.60. That saves Platinum members £80 or $99.60 based on buying the individual items, which is fantastic. Everyone's going to get free postage and packaging. Everyone's also going to get free shipping and handling, which is wonderful. So we're going to take care of sending this to you as well. If you are a new viewer, hello and welcome. We get new viewers all the time. You can absolutely grab this collection today as well. And remember, this show, this craft along, will be available for you to view at any time on demand over on our website, which is awesome. Now, to finish, you guys finish off catching up with your craft alongs, and for any new guys out there as well, let's share with you all the fantastic details of our club here at Crafters Companion, which we call Club Inspire.
Welcome to Club Inspire, our free loyalty club. As a member of the club, you can save up to 20% every time you shop with us. For every £1 you spend, whether it's in one of our stores or on our website, you'll collect 1 loyalty point. The more points you have, the more benefits you'll receive. As a welcome present, we'll give you 20% discount with your very first order. Once you place your first order, you'll be given 250 points straight away, making you a bronze member. This will mean that you'll receive a 5% discount on all of your purchases until the end of the next calendar year, plus priority postage. 500 points takes you up to silver membership, where you'll get 10% discount plus free shipping when you spend over £20. When you get to 750 points, you'll become a gold member, which gets you a whopping 15% discount on every order, and we'll ship them to you completely free, no matter how big or small they are. Spend over £25 and we'll send them to you via our premium next day delivery courier service. When you reach 1500 points, you'll become a platinum member, giving you the same shipping benefits as a gold member, but with the added bonus of a massive 20% discount on all of your purchases. Now on top of that, you'll receive exclusive discounts, sneak peeks of brand new products, special offers and money saving vouchers. You'll have access to an exclusive secret Facebook group to meet like-minded friends, to find out information first and to be inspired by all the Crafty makes. We'll send you a completely free quarterly Digimag direct into your inbox, giving you lots of hints, tips, inspiration, additional offers and some sneaky behind the scenes gossip from the team. So what are you waiting for? Become a member of our club today.
Absolutely. What are you waiting for? It is absolutely free to join. You can do so by going to the website craftscompanion.co.uk.com.au, click the Club Inspire badge on the homepage. Right then, we are going to cross back to our 2 VIP crafters that are joining us for the craft along. We're going to head back to Boston first, and we're going to have a catch up and a chat with Kelly and see how she is getting on over there. Lots of pictures coming in now as well, which I'll share with you as we go through the last section of this show. As you are finishing, please do send me in pictures. In fact, I'm going to go to Nikki first in Ontario in Canada, and we'll see how Nikki has been getting on. Nikki, how are you doing there? How are you getting on?
I'm good. I'm ready to show you what I've done.
Oh, I'm so excited to see what you have created. So without further, I feel like we need a drum roll for this moment, Nikki, don't you?
I think so. Maybe Dan can write me a song.
Yes, absolutely. And then, yeah, just for you in this box. Yeah, so I'd love to take a look at what you've created there.
Okay, so this is my box lid.
Boom!
Wow.
I don't know where to put it.
Yeah, there you are. I can see that. It looks absolutely awesome.
Brilliant.
Okay, so now for the pièce de résistance, or la pièce de résistance, is my box. This is how it fits. I had a little bit of an issue with the box. 'Cause this is the bottom.
So you've done the detail in the base instead of the top. Oh, that's an Australian. I think we call that an Australian box in crafting. Well, it's nice. You could still be. It could still. I mean, it still works, doesn't it, Craig? Up the other way, it'd be fine.
You just make another base and just make it slightly smaller, and you'll make it fit. No
There you
problem.
go. Here you go.
Nikki, it's lovely to have you joining us on the show. I'd love to know how long you've been crafting, how long you've been watching us here as well at Crafters TV.
I've been watching Crafters TV. My friend Lystra, who I must say, Philip, you should let Lystra buy the collection because you mentioned it a while ago. She introduced me to Crafters Companion about 1.5 years ago. And I fell in love with the product, the quality, the people. I've just had so much fun, so much fun.
But that is,
And I'm on a same base with my delivery man now.
Yeah, that is so heartwarming to hear. It really is lovely. It's been an absolute pleasure having you join us today on the show. I'll tell you what, maybe one day you come back and join us again. How about that? I
would like that very much.
Awesome. Nikki, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much from all of us here at Crafters TV.
Thank
you for joining us. I've got Kelly on the line now as well in Boston. How are you, Kelly?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. I hope that wasn't too stressful for you.
No, it was okay.
Oh, good. I am glad. Now, I'm excited. I'd love to see what you've created for us.
Okay. Can you see it?
Oh, wow.
Oh, gorgeous.
Wow.
Really gorgeous.
How stunning is that as well?
Really beautiful.
And I, as well as Nikki, have an Australian box.
Craig, that is too funny, isn't it?
That is funny. That is funny. 2 and 2. I love that. Love it.
What we're going to call that now then, we're going to call it, if we do that every in the shows, we'll call it Doing a Nikki and Kelly.
Yeah,
that's what we'll call it, if that's all right with you guys.
Yeah.
Absolutely, thumbs up there. Kelly, how long have you been crafting for? How did you get started? How long have you been watching us here at Crafters TV?
I watch you guys on YouTube, and I started crafting about maybe 33 years ago. My mom had got me started in ceramics, but along with the pandemic, I started making cards, and my mother had told me to start watching Crafters Companion, and I did, and I fell in love with the company. It's absolutely gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous stuff.
It's gorgeous. And do you know what? The most gorgeous thing is all of our lovely viewers and our family. Don't you think, Craig?
Absolutely.
You know, people say, oh, we're lovely and the products are lovely. But honestly, the environment that we have and that we've built is thanks, I think, mostly down to you guys, the viewers.
Oh, 100%. Absolutely. You know, the love and the support that we get back is just incredible, and just love it. So proud to be, so proud that you welcome us into your house.
Yeah, absolutely. Letting us into your craft room. I mean, that's a scary concept. It really is, Kelly. It's been an absolute pleasure to have you join us on the show. I'd love to say that maybe one day we'll do it again sometime, Kelly. What do you think to that?
Absolutely. I would love it.
Awesome. Well, you two have an awesome day. Have an incredible week. Loads of love from us here at Crafters TV, and we'll see you back here again soon, okay? Bye-bye. Take care.
Bye.
Oh, how lovely was that?
So
really,
good.
really lovely. Loads of you chatting away as well. I'll let you start cracking on with your next demonstration, Craig, and then I'll do a few of the comments. We'll share a few pictures if that's all right.
Okay, doc, we will do indeed. So what I've done now is I have taken a 6x6 card blank. So I've then folded it in half So we've gone right in half when it comes to the card blank that you can see here. And then what I've done is halfway, I've put a little half point, and then I've trimmed. So trimmed from the bottom of the score line up to the middle, and then also from the top of the score line to the middle, which gives us this triangle. And then what we can then do is if we then bring in another piece of 6x6 cardstock, this is then going to sit at an angle, and this is what's going to create our, it's kind of like our diamond easel card. So what we can do is we're going to use our tape runner for this one, and we're going to go over the top, and we're going to layer these ones up, and by simply doing that configuration, if I press, you'll be able to see from up above, see how now that creates that easel card, but when it comes to the diamond fold. So a different take when it comes to...
Is that called a diamond fold?
Well, I know it's obviously a square. I call it, I know it's not a natural diamond shape, but...
I'd call it an envelope flap fold.
Or you could call it an envelope flap fold.
An envelope flap fold. I think that sums it up, don't you?
Absolutely.
You can call it what you like. You do you, as I like to say, Craig.
You do you,
You
as
do
you
you,
like
hun.
to say. You do you. Absolutely. Do whichever way that you so wish. Then what we've done is we've taken some of this gorgeous, kind of like a rose gold copper cardstock that comes within the 12x12 pad, and you will see...
Boom, that's shiny, isn't it?
It's shiny.
Yeah.
It's shiny and gorgeous when you do emboss it with your folders as well. It looks lovely. So what we've done is we've got out the centre of the cardstock. I'm going to pop in a bit of pattern paper. So to let you know, which is 5 3/4 by 5 3/4. This is 5 1/2 by 5 1/2. And I think it is, I want to say Wednesday. If you have any issues about gutting your cardstock, you don't know how to do it, the best way to do it, tune in to Wake Up Call on Wednesday, and I will show you a little bit more detail as to how you can gut your cardstock if that's what you want to do.
Are you going to get me involved on Friday this week? I'm
Yes.
here on Friday this week for the first time ever, I think, since you've been doing Wake Up Call, Craig.
You
so I've
are.
been sitting back and watching everyone else get to have the fun on a Friday morning. So I hope that you'll have me on. It's my fake Friday, real Friday this week. So I'm ready. I'm like a coiled spring.
There's no hoping about it. You're involved.
Fabulous.
You will
Can't
be
wait.
involved. I can't wait either. It'll be nice to do a game day with you as well. It'll be hilarious. So yeah, take part in that one.
Teresa D'Amico also has an Australian box. She's done a Kelly and a Nikki. There you go, you're not on your own. But you were saying there, Craig, that you can rectify that, can't you? Just by making a new box base 1/4 inch smaller than your original box base, is that right?
Absolutely, yeah. Absolutely. Perfect. So you can do that exactly the same as to what you've done. Or again, another bit of cardstock, because both cardstocks were the same size, you're just wanting to then score it again on the box base, and then that is then going to rectify it. But matting and layering, so there's always a way round little mistakes, Joe. Little mistakes, there's always a way around them. And then we're going to position this one on into place. Pressing that, so we've now got our decorative easel card when it comes to our pattern papers. Then what we can do, bringing in a piece, so actually same colour as we used beforehand for the craft along, this gorgeous, like Centura Pearl Peach, and we're going to use the interchangeable dies. So with this one here, let's go with the die that we've got. So with love and friendship.
I did this as well. It's not easy to see what it says by looking at the die, Craig, or when you read it upside down. With love and friendship, I believe it says.
I think it is, that's what it
says.
Not
with, what did I say, family and humanity?
Yeah, and humanity, yeah.
Not what it says.
With love and friendship, the other two you've got to choose from, thinking of you and just because as well.
Liz Reese-Pedler has also done a Nikki and Kelly. And has cut into loads of people have done the base. Great question coming in from Stephanie. Wants to know what's the best adhesive to use when layering glitter cardstock, Craig?
Rightio. So you can go straight in with your wet glue. But what I like to do is I will always do some of my layers with our either tape pen or our double-sided tape, and then I'll go around the layers with a wet glue at the exact same time. What that does is your dry adhesive for instance, your tape runner, your double-sided tape. That'll give the instant grab. And then your wet glue, what that will do is that will dry into the fibres of your top layer and also into all the grains of the glitter card as well to make it permanent. So you can skip out the dry glue and just go straight to the wet glue, but I do like to use both just in case.
Awesome.
We've got our layers here, and I've popped them all through together. So let's take these ones out. I've used the outside die, so this die here that I've used as well. But if I was to use this die without the outline die, what would happen? This would then cut into a larger piece of cardstock. So this is where you've got that flexibility of doing larger aperture frames if you want to. So let's pop these ones out. So for instance, Joe, can you imagine cutting this into a large 12 by 12 cardstock with your Pro? Because you can do that. As long as you don't use the outside edge, you can absolutely do that. That would look spectacular.
Sean Sterling says, I'm only allowed on Fridays, wake up call, if I write a song. Gosh, you don't want to hear me sing, Sean. Maybe it could be some sort of, Eurovision-inspired Schlager bop, Craig. But no, you don't want that, Sean. Honestly, we'll leave the singing to Ben, who is very, very talented and a professional at it as well. I must say, Craig, that song that he wrote, I haven't been able to stop listening to it all week, and the video that went with it was absolutely brilliant, wasn't it? So good.
So, did you know about it?
Yeah, I knew the day before. I hadn't heard it, but Sara tipped me off the day before. I was actually watching Wake Up Call live.
Right.
And you know me, Craig, me being up before, 9:45 on a day off is rare, let alone my first day off. But yeah, I watched the whole show live so I could see it, and it didn't disappoint. If you missed it, you don't know what I'm on about, go back to our socials, Crafters TV, Craig's, and you'll see Ben wrote a sea shanty for Craig, which is fantastic. Loved it.
Just unbelievable. I was blown away, shocked, gobsmacked, and everything in between. I didn't have a clue it was happening. Lots of things afterwards started to fall into place, Joe, like people trying to distract me throughout the week, or trying to think what else was happening. Laura, when she was editing in the same office with me, and because everything that's going on at the moment, Joe, there's like only say 3 at an absolute push, 4
in our
people
little production office,
in the office, so we're all spaced out. So it was easy to see that Laura's computer had been moved at a different angle. I didn't know why, but as it turned out, it was moved so that I couldn't see what she was doing.
It was very good.
All these different things had been done or changed, and it just even over the weekend, things started to click into place as to why things were being said or happening, and it was to distract me, basically. So I was totally shocked, utterly, totally shocked. But it was so good.
Do go back and check out our social channels, and you'll see exactly it's a craft shanty, not a sea shanty. That's exactly what it is.
It is.
In Connecticut.
It's so good. Crafty. So catchy as well. Constantly singing it.
Do a Facebook Live. That was my favourite part of the whole thing. It really, really was. Keep sending your pictures in. We're going to do loads of your pictures from the craft along in just a second. I'm also going to recap what is in that collection for you if you do want to go for it. Because remember, you can watch this back at any chance. And also, you've got a live show. You had the launch party show from this collection. You can go back and watch that back. No doubt at some point in the future, we'll do a masterclass, I would imagine, on this. Have we done a master? We've done a masterclass. I did a masterclass with Leanne. You've already got a masterclass. You can go back and watch that back at any time you wish. So yeah, loads of inspo for you. Make sure you grab it.
What I've done there is I'm going to skip this bit here, but using this die that we use within the middle, using it separate and cutting it into a piece of that green satin cardstock that comes within the 12 by 12 pattern paper. And then as it comes out, what I've done is I've just snipped around the edges of the circle so that we get the sentiment on its own. And I have popped it onto my Xyron, but obviously at the moment, until we get them back in stock, you can use your sprays or actually you could be using your double-sided adhesive sheets if you want. But
great idea.
Popping these ones on, or even like your wet glues, or that would work well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to carefully pop that one on. So I've just torn off the edge so we can sort that in a minute. And then what we're going to do is work this one in. We're going to pop it directly over the top of our sentiment. And just using our pokey tool, Joe, just to maneuver that into place. You've got a lot more time than I have, because I cannot believe that is nearly the end of the show already. Absolutely flowing in. So let's just pop that one back on, and then pressing that one into place. Then what I've done is using a bit of the copper card, the peach card, and the pattern paper, I've created a butterfly like we were showing you within the craft along. So what we can do is pop our adhesive on. So we can do one there, we'll lift one set of wings up. Then we can do another one here.
Evelyn's just asking, was it a 6x6 base we started with here, Craig?
It was indeed, absolutely.
Perfect, that was for Evelyn. She's going to give this a go as soon as the show is finished.
It was 6x6, although you could do it with other square cards, but yeah, the one that I've done is 6x6.
Could you cut this into the front of a box, this die, if you wanted to, without cutting it out?
Yeah, absolutely, because you don't get that outside die. Well, you do get it, but because you can use it separately, that's how when I was saying things like if you've got your Ultimate, not your Ultimate Pro, your Gemini Pro, you could be cutting it into your large 12x12 cardstocks, so yes. You can be doing it that way.
If you haven't had a chance to get your hands on that Gemini Pro, I know it's coming up pretty soon here on Crafters TV, so keep your eyes peeled for that.
Here we go, and then there we go. So that was simply 5x5 card blank, folded in half, and then what we've done is we just cut it at a point, brought in another 6x6 card, pop it at an angle, and then we've created our card. Bringing in your scoreboard, your envelope boards, what you can then do is make a little box or an envelope with it.
Craig, you know what we haven't done? We haven't voted on the demo of the show, so we don't have time, so I'm going to allow you, Craig, to pick which one you want to put in.
I think
it's
I think
all the actual craft along has to go in,
It's got to be the craft along, doesn't it? It's all about the craft along, so that's exactly what we will pop in.
Awesome. I know we're going to get some pictures in before the end, so I'm going to really quickly whiz through this big collection. I remember you can grab all of the elements that you've got. You've got your interchangeable elements, you've got your swirls, you've got the 2 decoupage elements in here as well. Remember you've got your sentiments in there as well, so you've got both of those coming in. Another cut and emboss folder. You've also got your 2 stamp sets in there, which are absolutely fantastic. Then you've got your 2 layering dies, which are absolutely gorgeous, as well as the ribbon and of course the brads, which are fantastic. And then what you've got are your 3 separate paper pads. So you've got your printed papers, you also have your vellums, and you've then got your luxury cardstock as well. Really beautiful. This £134 or $182 as a platinum member today. $107.20, $145.60. We're going to send it out totally free of charge, free postage and packaging, free shipping and handling for absolutely everyone. Look at how gorgeous some of these craft alongs are. Honestly, Craig, you're going to be absolutely made up when you see these. Look at Terry's.
Oh wow. Oh
I love that people have mixed it up a little bit as well.
Exactly.
Some people have been very true to it. Some people freestyled a bit. Evelyn sent hers in, which is also equally beautiful. She's really nailed the mats and layers there on the front, hasn't she?
100%. Pretty much as bang on as to what I've done as well. Slightly different sentiment and obviously folder, but that's what you can do. Use that same, along the same lines, or change the products used. Love it.
I love what Lynn's done. She's actually split out, or she used some of the toppers as well from the pad, which is a great idea.
Such a great idea as well. I love how you've all followed the initial idea, but then just changed it slightly to suit what you're wanting to create.
Really beautiful. Sean Sterling sent this one in for us as well. Love that one. That's very true to your one, isn't it, that one, Craig?
Very true to my one. Sean also done one last week when it come to the Peacock collection that was also gorgeous as well. Love that one, Sean, as well as all the other ones.
And again, Mariah, the lovely Mariah Rosario, has sent this one in. She's used a different, she's used her cut and emboss folder to create the aperture there, which I think is awesome.
She did, yes. So she's used the alternative folder that also comes within the Caring Thoughts collection, and kept it along the same lines, but just changed it here and there, and it looks equally gorgeous. I think that's a bit of inking as well, maybe letterpress.
A little bit of inking, absolutely. She has. Now, guys, I don't know about you. I must say, I mean, I have fully loved It's been one of my favourite shows in a really long time, actually, Craig. I really, really loved it. It's been fantastic. I just want to share with you again everything that you need to make the project that was in the show. If you're now thinking about going back to the start of the show to dig everything out, let's just show you what you need. So from this collection, these are the things you'll require. You'll need the 3 pads. You'll also need the sentiment, the filigree border, the floral decoupage, the topper pad, which is available as a download. We don't have the topper pad in stock currently. You've also got the layered butterfly and the brads, and then some other stuff that you'll need from your wider stash are these additional items. Your guillotine, your Gemini, score master, your craft ruler, knife, tape runner, and so on and so forth. All of that in there. Laurie says, I love this collection. You won't be sorry in getting it. Jenny says, thanks Joe and Craig. A wonderful show again, and the anticipation prep allows a longer enjoyment for the project. Thanks Sara for the Caring Thoughts collection. All the makes are fabulous. Well done everyone. Don't forget, you don't have long to wait for the next one. Next one, Craig, on Thursday is...
It is our stacked easel, triple easel die set. So what we're going to do within this one here, we're going to focus on the love hearts. The reason being we're going into Valentine's. So I am tonight going to be creating my project tonight, all about the hearts. We're going to do it Valentine's card, Valentine's themed. Craft along with me exactly the same or change it, whichever way we like, but we'll put the kind of like the ingredients up over the next day or so.
Absolutely fabulous. Keep an eye on our social media channels for your, I like to call it an ingredient list. I don't know why.
I know,
your ingredients for
Absolutely.
your the recipe for what we're going to be making together on Thursday. Remember, still loads to come. I'll be up with the gorgeous Debbie Fisher for Monday Makers in an hour's time. Lots of lovely things in their diorama, and there's some tri-blends on the show for you as well. Loads coming your way, and then another chance to see the craft vault as well. Craig, you'll be back with us, will you, in the morning for Wake Up Call?
I am. I'm going to be back as always 9 a.m. here in the UK, 4 a.m. Eastern Time, 1 a.m. Pacific Time for a Wake Up Call, and then I'm on Craft Vault as well.
Fantastic. I look forward to having Craft Vault with Craig. You've got an hour now to get yourself ready for that next show, so do what you need to do. But make sure you join myself and Debbie back here at 4 p.m. UK time, 11 a.m. East Coast. See you then.
Bye.